Aries, how you doing? Welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be an Astroflower reading for the year of 2023. Let's just jump straight in here. Let's see what's going on. This is the overall energy for the year. These are the karmic messages or missions, if you like. Now, this is for the relationship side, and this is for your financial jobs, business, etc. The petal one is to do with the first 3 months, January to March, April to June, July through to September, October through to December. Okay, let's just jump straight in here. Let's see how it's going. What's going on? There's a new cycle coming for you, and it's all to do with happiness. And you know it. You're going there. It looks like it's going to be a very successful year. Don't want to preempt it, obviously, but just the cards that are just showing and want to see out, and it's absolutely blinding. Let's just see what's going on in the overall energy for you. We did do the collective reading on Sunday, so you might want to watch that to see how that fits in with this one for 2023. There's a lot coming in from the financial sort of side here, and there's pressure to be dealt with at the moment of marrying. It's a business. It's work and play ethic by the looks of things, and it's the overall energy here is trying to keep a good stable balance between the two. Healthy boundaries. This is what they're trying to install. I think you've got to be a little bit careful about your work side. You can be a workaholic, Aries. You're a bit of a perfectionist. You really like to get things done correctly, which is great. But sometimes that can be overwhelming and overburdening if you take on too much. So I would just be a little bit wary about that, especially coming up at the end of next summer, in the this sort of period here. This is where it seems to be coming from, but we'll see what's happening there. Let's just see what your karmic message is on your relationship side. This is like the ultimate, mother, sister, grandmother sort of scenario, or the ultimate grandfather, brother, or son. It's living up to your greatest side of life. I always pull, the Five of Wands can be competition, right? That's what it could be about, sort of conflict and competition and everything like that. Well, that's all very well, but is the karmic mission about sort of learning about conflict? Yeah, I guess it could, because it could be for some of you, and that will be for some of you. But I think for the majority of people, it's to be the best example of who you can be as a person in regards to your relationships that are around you. And this is what I'm saying. It's being your better self. It's being your higher self. It's walking away from those difficult times when we try and save the world. Not one person can save the world. We can save the world. And everybody needs to be in a good place in order to take part in that. So I think here is as well, I think there's a delicate fine line here. And I think this is what this overall energy is about as well. It's a definite fine line of sort of putting out and getting back, and just not just necessarily, and you tend to sacrifice yourself for your family and your kids and your friends and stuff like that. You can really push the boat out there, and that's absolutely amazing and brilliant, but don't do it if it's a complete and utter detriment to you. Yeah, I think that's the sort of message behind it. Okay, so let's just see what's going on the first 3 months here. So this is your autumn period. This is where you start looking over the past year, sort of seeing what you've done, what you'd like to stop, what you'd like to start, what you'd like to do new, what you'd like to continue, as it were, in regards to your relationships, on the emotions you'd like to experience. It's an exploration month, really. Yeah, it's gradually that call to that mission. I think this is where you're going to realise that that all-encompassing member of family, friends, couple. I think it's getting something really round and really beautifully spherical in a way, perfection in its smoothness. And I think this is, you're gonna, over this period here, there'll be moments of kind of go, oh right, yeah, oh yeah, realizations within yourself that's going to help you, that's going to pull you down that mission path. Okay, let's see what's going on in April through to June. So this is your winter period. This is where you're going to start putting into action the plans that have been laid during the first 3 months. And you can't go forward fast enough. This is where you really want to sort of like, you can't go forward fast enough. You really want to, you really want to get involved. You really want to take part. Yeah. That's where that obsessive thing comes in again. Yeah. There's a lot of pulling forward here. And I would just be careful not to run before you can walk. That's the only warning I have about it. Apart from that, yeah, go for it. If you're not scared of falling over and grazing your knees, then you'll be fine. If you don't like grazing your knees, I would then take it a little bit slower. Here is all about, it's also about seeing things of the greater path. So the light bearer, he brings forward the light in order for you to see a lot more of your karmic path, basically, of your life path before you. And I think this is also going to open up the doors of possibilities and options within your life, within your relationships, and an options of where to direct your interaction with your family, your friends, your community and stuff like that. I think it's going to give you some substance to that sort of direction, as it were. And it's going to allow you to focus on real fine things with that side where the devil's a bit obsessed and addicted to certain aspects of life. And I think this could play for you in a really good way. Let's just see what's going on in July through to September. So this is your spring months. Love is in here. Yeah, this is, you're gonna cut loose. You're gonna be cut loose and fancy free. I think it's very sociable. You're really gonna enjoy summer by the looks of things. It's gonna be a real, it's like meeting that summer love in a way, out off on holiday and stuff like that. It's that sort of thing. But obviously, if you're in a couple, if you're in a long-term couple, it could be sort of like rediscovering new activities or old activities that you used to do together and stuff like that. Just a reinvigoration basically going on. Yeah, King of Cups, Knight of Cups. Sorry, there's a lot of offerings going on here. There's a lot of offerings going on. There's a definite, love is in the air sort of scenario. And this could be a new love coming in for you. This could, this new you as it's coming to fruition. And I think it's already started, actually. I think it started in 2022, the realization. And this is a long-term plan going on because we're looking at yearlies here. And I think you're going to realize that there's, during the summer months, there's a lot of things to try out. Okay, let's just see what's going on in your summer months. So this is going from October through to December. This is your summer in accordance to your energy. There was movement here in regards to offering things and things coming up to the surface and things like that. Here is physical movement. So this could be moving in with someone. This could be marriage. This could be just moving home with your partner. This could be your kids moving out. This, and which could be a good thing. You may also, it might be very painful for you, but it also changes life. It creates a lot of space and stuff like that. Talking as someone with kids. So yeah, there's a movement here. There's a movement here which you're moving into your this is your summer months. Did I say your autumn months? It's your summer months. And there is definite concrete movement by the looks of things. Oh, marriage. That's what I said. Do you know? That's what I said. There's some sort of commitment to something in this in between October and December. It could be a commitment to some sort of family member or part of the family, the friends, but there's a definite commitment. There's a movement in a definite direction from your side. That's going to be that's going to be really lovely. Let's just see what's going on in your job, your business, and your financial sort of side. This is the karmic mission. Be careful of your determination. This is that little warning here. I think this is what that healthy boundaries are all about. And the world is a changing place in regards to finance, if you hadn't noticed. With all this inflation, with this energy thing, with just proxy wars going on all over the place, and just creating basically a pain in the backside for everybody, apart from a certain select few. I think if you looked at your collective reading, that is all going to change. Excuse me a second. I have a card that is dropped. Oh, blimey. Just bang me in there. The Fool. Yes, I'm going to put it in there. There is a leap of faith going on there. Because it is a new world. You'll see that in the collective reading. Go back and it'll be linked at the end of this reading to see the collective reading. There's a definite change in the way we do business, and that's been on the cards for the last sort of 3 or 4 months, and it's really going to come to fruition this year. But this here is sort of like, just be careful of your ambitions. You're the star. So just make sure you're not putting too much pressure on yourself. I think this is what it's all about. It's going to take a bit of a leap of faith for you to trust in other businesses, companies, other employees, for your career path. I think this trust thing it's going to be coming out within the financial sector. So this is all part of it. Let's just see what's going on in the first 3 months. Now, this is your autumn period here. This is where you do a lot of evaluation for your coming year. This is where you start setting up within you how you want things to happen. Then after your birthday, then you pass over to act on those plans and sort of things. So let's just see how it goes on here. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of solid work going on here. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe it's a little bit too heavy. There is a lot of work going on here. You've still got a lot of fruit that you're collecting at the moment. A lot of projects that are coming through from 2022. Your job path, your career path. There is still a lot of work on your, and it's good. It's as they would say in England, it's all gravy. I tend to say it's all custard, because I prefer custard to gravy. I don't really eat gravy. But it's all custard. So, it's all adding to the coffers. And I would be a bit careful of that. Because yes, it is all adding to the coffers. But, it's all adding to the bank. But at what cost? That's what I would just be a little bit wary of. Okay? Let's just see what's going on to April through to June. So this is your winter period. This is when you're going to put into action the things, and there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth, but there's certain things that are going to be like a real, it's like a lot of trees that are growing around a very big oak. And there are only saplings that are growing around a very big oak. So there's obviously one core to your life that's stable and steady. I would just allow that to happen and trust in it. That's where the trust comes in it. So then you can concentrate on the little saplings and see which saplings you would like to develop in the future. Yeah, I think this is that realization of kind of going, you've made it, you've got that solid oak in the middle. where that is going to be, you've tried and strive to be in that position for so long, with your hard and diligent work that you've done. And I think that is coming to the end of that painful, constantly having to go the extra 2 or 3 miles to get it done. I think that's coming to an end. I think things are coming to you, and that painful, I'll say painful, or that difficult cycle of constantly pushing is, the fruits are there. The fruits are there, and you've got to trust in that, and you've got to, enjoy those saplings. Take your time to choose things. Progress your projects or your career path in a direction that suits you. Basically, with this fair exchange with other people. Let's just see what's going on from July through to September. It seems like the career path almost looks after itself because of the work you do. It's like you're a gardener that's already planted loads of things up, and now you're just doing the weeding. You're tendering the garden rather than creating the garden. And it looks, this is where you're going to see your change of fortune. You're almost going to see a change of, and this ties into the 2023 collective reading as well. I'd really go and have a look at that. But ties into a much more calm, continuous, regular, harmonious advance within business, within money. And this is not just for you. I think this is for everybody. But it's strange how it also ties into these new offerings as well. It's all to do with timing here. And that start of that mission, those things coming to fruition as well. This whole thing is playing up for this moment in September, July through to September. But obviously September seems to be quite an important month as it keeps coming through. This is where that pressure comes on you to sort of realise that healthy work-play exchange effort. And I think you've got to learn that there. And it's going to be almost enforced upon you by the overall energy, because the overall energy is almost sort of saying, no, you're not going to allow it to invade your life. You're not going to allow it to do. You've got to learn to relax. You've got to learn to enjoy your success. And it's difficult sometimes for someone who enjoys working a lot to actually sit back and relax and enjoy their success. But because of this, what's happening on this side here, I think it's going to force you into that position, and it's going to breed that ultimate grandparent, parent, child, friend, brother, sister, sibling. It's going to put you in an ultimate position. Let's just see what goes on the October through to December period. So this is your summer months. This is where we come back to these fruits. This is when you're going to see the benefits of being the tendering to a garden rather than creating or landscaping the garden. I think you're going to understand the rhythms and the beauty of it all. Yeah, it's enjoying the coming and the goings of the world around you. So basically, you've created a scenario where the ships, because this is the old harbour master basically, and you're going to enjoy those ships coming in because they're bringing in the goods for you and sending those ships out. So there's trade, or there's things going on within your career path that you don't actually have to go anywhere or do anything. It's going to come to you. And I think I did say that earlier on in this. And I think this is the realization here of these healthy boundaries that you're putting into place. That's really nice. I do want to do a bit of clarification though on that Ten of Swords and that Devil over there, because that seems to be that winter period, your winter period. So this is April through to June. That seems to be the most trickiest of period for you. So I want to do the Ten of Swords first. Where does that sort of come from? Okay. So you've got a seven of swords. So you've got a rite of passage here. This is where the universe, I think, is trying to help you to understand your karmic mission in regards of letting go of a past cycle that might have been painful, that might have been hard for you to get there. And it might be the result of some project that just didn't really work out as best as you thought it was going to work out, and you've got to let go of it, but you invested a lot of your heart and passion into it. But I think it's a good thing to let go of that. Let's just see what else comes up. Yeah, that's what's flowing into it. So that's what's bringing up that Wheel of Fortune there, that Ace of Pentacles. It's that starting on a new victory, I think, which is it's those new saplings that are coming through, basically. This is what's being offered to you, a new way of living. Let's just see how it ties into the devil on the far side there, the world. This is the new cycle. This is one cycle that's coming to an end and a new cycle that's going to be coming forward. And as it comes forward, you're going to be the best example of yourself. This is that call to mission. This is what the devil is showing to you about. I think the light that the devil's bringing to you here is about the past and the future. So you can see what you've lived and what you're going to live, and putting it into place. This is where, and you can be a bit obsessive about it, which is probably a good thing in a way. And you're moving on to the Ten of Cups. Pure happiness is coming out of this. It's decisions you've got to make in that moment there of what saplings you want to keep within regards to your relationships, what relationships you want to nurture and nourish, and going forward. You can't nourish everything, and this is where I said you've got to be very subtle in making sure you're okay so you can help other people and everybody else can be okay then. You know, don't do it at detriment to yourself, Aries, because you tend to do that. Okay? But it looks really, really nice. We're sitting on a ley line here, so let's just get a message from the earth, a reading from the earth here. Let's just connect to that. Here we go. It's a lady line. There it comes in there. Lady lines tend to be water, that sort of thing. You're a fire sign. It's a little bit hesitant in a way. Take care of your heart. And I mean that in the way of an emotional sort of state, but there is a certain physical aspect to it as well. Be careful of the stress that you take on board. I think the nature is trying to sort of say to you here, it's sort of, make sure your heart's in a good place, basically. There you go. There's your reading for 2023. Thank you very much for being here. There is the collective reading, which will be signalled around the top of my head. Obviously, your weekly readings that come out on the Saturday as well, every week. There's loads of things going on in this channel. Changes that are going to be coming afoot, certainly in the new year and over Christmas period. In the new year, we got a new way of reading, and it is mind-blowing. I'm really, really getting into it. A lot of work being doing behind the scenes. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. You've got your solstice readings coming out, the collective coming out on Sunday, and your individual reading coming out in the following week after that. Will probably be on the Wednesday next week. So there's loads of things happening going on. Do enjoy your Christmas period and any holidays that you may be taking. In the meantime, Aries, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.